I'm kind of sad I've completed it, you know? I am kind of sad I've completed it. Oh! I like that. I like that. I like it. Because now we've unlocked it, so we know what happens, so we don't need to, I like this. This is see, that's the thing. Now we can talk about it. Let's get into it. Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, so Naughty Dog, right? Just amazing with both of these games. No matter what anyone fucking says, right? Both of these games, the little details is what makes the games, and throughout the whole of the game, there are so many little tiny details that are just amazing. Okay, I'm gonna take these off because I'm actually really hot. In my room is bacon. Naughty Dog are amazing at providing context to little details, tiny details that you wouldn't notice unless you pay close attention to, right? I guess that goes in with level design as well. But okay, now that we've finished the game completely, okay, let's go into characters. So character-wise, I thought every character was different, which I liked. They weren't linear characters, they weren't simple. They didn't have just one goal, they were complicated. Or at least that's what they were by the end. Initially, of course, when you get introduced to your character, they are very linear kind of thing, so let me put that into rest mode so it doesn't... Let's talk. Shh. My PlayStation is like proper hot right now. Are you gonna work like this the whole time? Okay, I'm putting my headphones on, fuck it. I can't. Anyway. Oh, Christ, okay. There we go. Alright, okay, so, character-wise, I felt like every character had a purpose, it made sense. The character arcs make sense, and you know what? If you didn't like Joel dying, then fucking deal with it. Because what you got... Thing is, let's think about it rationally, right? What else is Joel going to do in The Last of Us? Is he going to be the... God, like, his character arc is finished. His character arc is completed. That was it. There was nothing more or less to it. If you're a fan of Joel and you were annoyed that he died, well, you know what? It's just the way it is. Because, well, if they would have kept him in, he would have provided nothing to the story. And let's say they switched between Joel dying and let's say Dina died. First off, Ellie wouldn't have been that motivated to go there because, yes, you know, she would have liked her, but she didn't love her as much as she loved Joel, even though it was this complicated narrative between the two of them, which I absolutely get. Okay, I like the complication. I like they throw in a spanner in the works and they didn't hold anything back with Joel dying. I am okay with that. In terms of, okay, what else is there? Okay, the ending. Oh boy, oh boy. The thing is, they're not gonna go for a tearjerker again. Okay, it was sad. It was, you know what? It actually hurt. It actually hit a lot closer home with me because it brings back like those emotions that you wouldn't think of. It's like, imagine not seeing someone ever again. What were your last words to them? You know? Imagine that. And I think that's what the whole story is trying to, you know, that's what the whole idea was it. That she felt so guilty for those words of what she said to him is what drove her, and she completely forgot about, as in Ellie, she completely forgot about that last piece of when she was like, you know, I can't ever forgive you, but I'd like to, but I'm trying. You know? And then that memory only triggered once she felt resolution in her own story, which was to do with Abby, obviously. And again, coming back to Joel, dude, it makes total narrative sense. At one point or the other, Joel's past was going to catch up with him, you know? And in all honesty, I'm surprised it didn't. it didn't happen sooner, but then again, you know, in this universe and all that. So, did I enjoy the ending? That's a loaded question. It's not a simple yes or no. It's not as simple as... Even with The Last of Us Part 1, it's not as simple as, did I enjoy the ending? Yes or no. Joel's a very controversial character at the end of the first part, okay? To say, from regards of selfishness, to save Ellie's life of what he thinks is right to do without giving her any kind of authority over that decision. The fact that he killed innocent people, i.e. the doctors. I am okay with that ending. And you know what? If it's an unpopular opinion, then fuck it. You know what? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the game very much to play through it. Even though I did, you know, grumble and huff and puff now and then, I thoroughly enjoyed playing it. That's not a lot. I can't say that about a lot of games. If you can't even appreciate the story, at least appreciate the gameplay, the environment, and the level design. That's my thought on it, okay? That's my thought on the reviews. And you know what? My opinion, I liked it. Am I going to play it again? Fuck yes, I'm totally going to play it again. In fact, I would totally do it 100% run through on Survivor Plus. If it's an unpopular opinion, then let the backlash begin. Bring it. I used to know someone, okay, that she would never try. Okay, this is relatable. Trust me. She would never try new food, and you know why? Because she didn't like it. I was like, "Do you like sushi?" She's like, "No." I was like, "Have you ever tried it?" She replied, "Well, no, but it's called fish and rice. I don't like that." And I'm like, that kind of defeats the whole point. It's the same with this. One thing is watching someone play it. Another thing is playing it yourself and experiencing it yourself. Like for me, for example, once I started playing it, I couldn't wait to get to the end. And I appreciate the ending seems like the multiple endings, I want to say, because every single time of the ending is like, oh, this is going to be it, this is going to be it, this is going to be it. Like for example, when we got to when we killed Owen and everyone else, and Ellie was like, yeah, time to go home, I was like, ooh, this could be a good cliffhanger to end it on, because what's, you know, is Abby going to find them again type of thing? Is there going to be a Last of Us Part 3 in that respect? Okay, that would have been I would have been totally okay with that. Ending 2 is when Abby turns up at the place and she's about to shoot Ellie. I was like, oh damn, if she shoots Ellie, bad decision, but a totally plausible one, okay? And then everyone dies because, yeah. One thing I will say, I'm glad it wasn't that ending. Ending 3, okay? I thought that we're going up to ending 3. I thought that farm scene at the end when like you thought Ellie was resolved with the whole thing and she was with Dina and JJ, and you're like, okay, this is it. And it turns out she has got this massive PTSD issue, okay? Which I think they've portrayed really, really well, by the way. So, clap to Naughty Dog for that. PTSD is a complicated thing, man. And, you know, if someone is so dead... The problem is, since 14, she went through such a traumatic time in her life within that year with Joel on the road. Since like Riley was bitten to when she met Joel to when she traveled across country to the Fireflies and turns out to be her life, what she thought was meant to be was not. You know, she thought she was going to be this cure to the disease, and it turns out it's not. And I really like the way they handled that. I will say, what broke the immersion a lot, and this is coming to the story, this is the kind of bits I didn't like about the story. I loved everything else, okay? Everything is awesome. Like, this game, it's not supposed to be as simple as just... The thing is, imagine if she did kill Abby. The whole point of her not killing Abby, of her being so close to killing her, like literally drowning her, right? The whole point of that sequence was that she was better than Joel. Okay? That was the whole point of that scene. She is better than Joel. And in the end, I think when she picked up the guitar, and that we seen that scene, and she put the guitar down and stuff. Yeah, I think she forgave him. I think she forgave him. I think there's going to be a part 3. I do think that, because even though it's left as a closed kind of story, I do think there is more to explore, and it'll be good to it would be fun to revisit this world universe in about 5 to 10 years on a new gen console when everything is like super cool. One guy gave a 1-star review on Amazon to the Steelbook. To the Steelbook? For the Steelbook? I think the Steelbook is amazing. The actual Steelbook looks awesome. Look at the character. Look at the artwork. I think it's super cool. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, I think it's totally dope. That's how it looks like from both sides. I think it's legit. Really cool. I thought I thought so as well. I thought the farm scene was going to be a dream as well. I really did. I thought that she's gonna be like, she's gonna wake up. Oh, actually, there was a moment where I thought it was a dream inside of a dream, where, you know that scene from I don't know if you guys seen Gladiator, but you know when Gladiator walks through the fields and it kind of gives you that it's his heaven because he's with his family. I thought that's what it's going to be. So it's a dream inside a dream, and when she wakes up from that dream in the farmhouse, she's with Joel, right? But because Joel is dead, you're like, oh, holy shit, is she dead as well? But then, the thing is, I really would hate the fact if Ellie died in this. I really would. Considering this is a story about her, I don't want it to be like Matrix Revolutions. That film's terrible. Don't watch that film. That film does not exist. Canon is Matrix 1. That's it. Yeah, you want to feel a sense of accomplishment when you at least complete a game. And I feel accomplishment, I really do. I mean, could they have done something differently in terms of the ending? I think it's a good motivation to kill Joel, and appreciate that, you know, the first one was so good because it was a real tearjerker, you know? Last of Us Part 1, it doesn't feel railroady when you play it. But in comparison to this, it kind of is. In the respect of, even when you have an open area, like say Billstown, right in the beginning, where you can explore a little bit and then walk around, but it still feels kind of meh. Whereas with this, you can, it's a feeling, right? It's a feeling. So I like that. Imagine if Ellie died in the end. What kind of resolution is that? That's a terrible way to end, so that's not going to be it. If she would have killed Abby, I don't like that ending. Because then what was the whole point? Then she is what we expected her to be, a cold-blooded killer. But she didn't. Which is the whole point. So I'm okay with the Abby ending. Am I okay with the farmhouse sequence? Like the last farmhouse, those last few scenes, and that particular last scene. Am I okay with it? I think so. I think I'm okay with that. I think it closes the story enough for you to be, I finished the game, put it away and, you know, either never play it again or play it in a year or a few months or so. Or you finish the game and you're like, ooh, there could be a part 3. There could be a part 3 if they wanted to, because they did the same thing with part 1. It was closed, but it was kinda open. Maybe Ellie walks away from the farm to have a more exciting story and start up a faction. Ooh. Maybe. I think it's good though. Maybe she realizes that because of who she is and what she is, she needs to have a similar life to Joel, where she's kind of a loner but not really. I mean, that's an interesting view, but I think, yeah, I'm reading way too much into it. But hey, that's the whole point of this, right? The end of game discussion. Because I've been waiting for this game for 7 years, and there's a lot that happened in my life in the last 7 years, and I can really relate to those last few scenes. Personally speaking. No, obviously not like in terms of killing people, but more like in terms of emotional connection with certain interactions. So I can totally relate to that from my part. I like it. You know what? Fuck it. You can clip it, post it on Twitter. Let the Reddit people, let the Reddit army come at me. You know what? I like this game. I actually like it. Those are my thoughts on The Last of Us Part 2. And say thank you for sticking around with me for the last few days for The Last of Us Part 2 playthrough. If you want my opinion, it's a little back in the VOD. I will be posting the whole playthrough on YouTube within the next couple of week or so. I will try to get it out in a week. If not all of it, the majority of it. I will be split into 2 parts. I'm not sure how, maybe 4 parts. It is a very long playthrough, maybe a few more, but I will be uploading them very, very shortly. So as always, I want to say thanks everyone for sticking around. Thank you for the support, for the love, for the good vibes. Thank you, Pomsman. Thank you, Wraith. Guys, as always, I want to say mad respect, one love. Thank you all so much for your support. I'll see you on Friday. Keep fragging. Peace out. Peace.